I was shocked to have an emotional response to Funny Girl being all but shut out. And my reason is it wasn't totally shut out. There was one nomination for supporting actor, which to me sounded like the Tonys saying, oh, no, it was eligible. You know, like, kind of getting in our face with it.
Welcome to Keep It, Cricket Media's show about pop culture and politics and what happens when they smack into each other at an alarming speed. I'm your host, Ira Madison III, a television writer and Fall Out Boy fan.
I'm Louis Vertel. I'm a TV writer and Jane Fonda historian.
Let's get into it.
And we're back with an all-new Keep It. I'm Ira Madison III.
Oh, God, are you? I have to leave. I'm Louis Vertel.
And we got a lot of things to talk about. Jesse Williams' is out. The Tony nominations are out.
Okay, I just became aware of the Jesse Williams dick situation yesterday. I'm familiar with the play he was in that he's nominated for, Take Me Out, by Richard Greenberg. And Jesse Tyler Ferguson is also nominated for it. But I did not understand and don't remember this play, which I believe is from the late 80s, early 90s, and it's about baseball, that there was so much schlongery occurring in this play.
Yeah, I just always know that the play was nude and had gay shit in it. And
right.
Let me tell you, I've seen Take Me Out, and it is real and it is spectacular.
As in this version of it.
As in Jesse Williams' penis. But
okay.
Yes, also this version of it is really good. It's a really good production.
Jesse Williams, for the record, was the blindingly hot person who was on Grey's Anatomy for years and years, in case anybody here is not a Shonda man.
Everyone in this cast was on a TV show that I used to watch. Jesse Williams, Grey's Anatomy. Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Modern Family. Patrick Adams, Suits.
Wow. I forgot that you watched Suits. I feel like that was a 2018 Keep It topic. Suits would come up every episode or so.
Jesse Williams and Patrick share the fact that Katherine Heigl was on both of their series. But
right.
I believe Jesse joined after Katherine Heigl left.
Which is crazy because she joined in season 36. So it's like guiding light over there. By the way, I did appreciate Ellen Pompeo recently saying that Katherine Heigl would be heralded as, I don't know if she said hero recently, but her
she was ahead of her time.
Ahead of her time. And guess what? I'm on Team Pompeo. I agree.
I'm on the team people being like, is Ellen Pompeo not afraid of Shonda Rhimes anymore because she's retiring?
Oh, that could be. Well, but also, of course, be terrified of Shonda Rhimes. She's terrifying. So I think that's a human response to Shonda Rhimes.
That's fair. I agree with her. I love the concept of Katherine Heigl being ahead of her time.
That's true. I mean, she's not exactly like Laurie Anderson or something. She's not throwing progressive performance art at us.
She's Phil of the future is what she is. But no, getting back to Take Me Out, the Tony nominations are out. And as you know, I enjoy the theater.
Sure.
And
Likewise.
I've seen quite a few of these.
No, when I was going through the nominations, it occurred to me you actually can narrate most of the experiences. We got the first ever openly trans nominee, and she is a performer in A Strange Loop. And I was wondering if you could talk about that performance.
A Strange Loop is really fucking fantastic. It's like Michael R. Jackson's opus, about a Broadway usher at Lion King who wants to write a musical called A Strange Loop, using Liz Phair songs.
No, can you believe you've seen this and I haven't? Yes.
And the joke is that Liz Phair wouldn't let him use the music. There's a great song called Exile in Gayville. It's really fun. But I would say that it's interesting watching this Broadway production because, I think it's fantastic. And I think that Jaquel Spivey is great in it. But I had the pleasure of seeing Larry Owens in it off Broadway, and that role is still dominated by Larry for me.
Got it.
Completely.
Yes.
It's a great show, though. It is one of those shows that is sort of about self-loathing, and I maybe think that it gets a bit too much. into misery porn, but I really think it's sort of a important piece to be on Broadway, and I love that this like Black queer show is finding an audience. It is finding an audience of a lot of white gay men.
I see. Okay, fascinating.
Who want to tell me they love Strange Loop, but you know what? White people are always going to see our art, so.
That's true. I mean, you can't stop.
They exist.
I'm always in line. Sorry.
I'm sure you've seen Girl 6.
Well, of course I've seen it. Madonna's on the soundtrack. Or not. Madonna's in the movie.
She's in the movie.
Yes. The self-loathing thing reminds me of the kind of double-edged sword that is Boys in the Band, which is when I watched the movie version of it, the original one from the 70s, not the more recent Ryan Murphy-fied version. You get a lot of queer joy in that movie, and like you see like whatever gays doing like a kick line for fun at a party in 1970, and AIDS doesn't exist yet, and this is a version of history I've not seen before, and then it spirals into this one guy freaking out and basically having a self-loathing sort of panic attack. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist for a certain type of person, but you feel like straight people watch it and think, oh, at the core of all gay people, there's just a self-loathing thing trying to get out. It's like, not true. So I don't know who that's for exactly, but all right.
I know. You sort of have to remind yourself that this is one artist's
right.
Journey. Like this doesn't represent all Black queer people. And listen, there have been many instances of things in the play that I've personally experienced. But there's moments where it just veers so much into, all right, I get it. But it's also 100 minutes with no intermission. So.
Love that. Oh my God. Please.
Okay, so let's celebrate
Please
that.
hit me with the 91 to 100 minute jam. Love that. I do have to say, reading the Tony nominations, I was shocked to have an emotional response to Funny Girl being all but shut out. And my reason is it wasn't totally shut out. There was one nomination for supporting actor, which to me sounded like the Tonys saying, oh no, it was eligible. Kind of getting in our face with it.
I have not seen Funny Girl yet, but if you think I will not be seeing Funny Girl soon, this is specifically one of those shows where it's like I need to see Funny Girl to be part of the conversation.
Right.
Like
right,
I can't have been like years later being like, you know what? No, I never saw that Funny Girl.
I would like to see it myself. And here's the thing. Prior to this, I think I've loved Beanie Feldstein in everything. Like Booksmart,
I love her.
That's like a 2.5 to 3 star movie for me, but she is great and unmistakable and owns that role. Loved her in Lady Bird in a role that was like maybe a little bit smaller than I wanted it to be, but she was great. And also she herself seems fun and, rad, my favorite word. It is weird filling the shoes of Barbra Streisand, as every critic has noted, because I do think it is the best debut by anyone in anything that ever happened. I cannot think of a bigger, better debut than that. And also, as a couple of reviews, and more reviews should be pointing this out, noted, the role was generally written with Barbara in mind. The extent of the vocals, the comic flourish, and so filling her, it really is about filling her shoes. It's not like, well, anybody could play Fanny Brice. It's like, no, this was molded to Barbra Streisand initially, who of course has a wild and specific set of extraordinary talents.
Yeah, it's giving very much in high school, with like the best actress or best actor, right, would get the lead in everything.
Yeah.
And, it's like, okay, cool, you're great in Footloose, the musical, right? But, like, should you also have the lead in Night Mother? I don't know.
And there's only 2 roles in that, so it really does take up a lot of space. Yeah.
Then we're going to make you the lead in The Hunt for the Red October. It's like, what are we doing here? And I get that this is a role she's always wanted to do, obviously idolizes Barbra Streisand, but I'm going to wait until I see it to comment on it. But it is funny that it was just sort of snipped.
Yes, right. And also, there's a whole bunch of Barbra Streisand-esque roles I could see Beanie Feldstein filling. Like, we talk about What's Up, Doc all the time.
She'd be great in the What's Up, Doc remake.
Yeah, that Spitfire delivery with a little bit of a wink in it, and that's totally her to me. So hopefully there's actually a little bit more Streisand homaging in the future.
Here's my pitch.
Okay. Nuts?
No, it's Beanie in the Barbra role.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield in the
as Ryan O'Neal.
Ryan O'Neal role. And
love that. And he, of course, would be obsessed with What's Up, Doc, Andrew Garfield. So
yes. And you make his character bisexual, and the Madeline Kahn role is Channing Tatum, as Guy Branum has prophesied.
That is among the kookiest things he ever said, guys. I had my first breakdown on Keep It when he said that Channing Tatum was the new Madeline Kahn. I'm not saying he's not delightful. I'm not saying I don't want to see him sing and dance. Madeline Kahn, her particular upper crusty, I'm about to fall apart thing, just seems like there's a bit of there's something there that's specifically character actress. And not that I am hardwired to believe in the binary, but I do feel like you have to anoint a woman as the successor to Madeline Kahn.
You know what? I thought that he was great in The Lost City. And maybe the only good thing in it.
I agree that movie exists.
And maybe the only good thing in it. I watched that on Delta recently, and the amount of times I fell asleep and had to keep going back to it, which actually has become just a problem anyway. Because, I'm a person who falls asleep immediately on a plane. It's always a struggle to stay up so I get my fucking meal. Because I'm mad when they pass by you, and then it's like, oh, I missed the meal or I missed the drinks. I'm like, hey, bring that back. And they're always just sort of like, if you miss it, it's gone.
Yeah, right. Lost City feels like a definitive plane movie to me. I used to think it was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl was the number one. I think, and Atomic Blonde, that's a good plane movie because you can pay attention. You're like, oh,
I did watch that on a plane.
Yeah.
I did watch it on a plane. Let's see. What else is nominated? Clyde's, which starred Uzo Aduba. I thought it was really fun. She's great in it.
I want to say I saw some statistic that 20 out of the 45 acting nominees are actors of color, too. Following last year's season, which I believe had a ton of black casts nominated. That's like sort of interesting, I guess.
I also assume none of them are in Hangman, the Martin McDonagh play.
You don't say.
I'm kidding. I don't know the makeup of that. I love Martin McDonagh, and I actually have not seen Hangman yet. And I love Alfie Allen, and I'm excited for his nomination, and I'm excited to see it. Mostly because I've missed Martin on stage. I think that his foray into movies, like 3 Billboards, has been the worst aspect of his career.
I have to say,
I want him to get back to the theater.
That movie was around when we did Keep It initially, and I've never, there's never been a movie where I was so sure I was going to like it going in, and then I was in denial about how much I hated it walking out. Like, it took me days to realize, oh, I don't even fucking like Francis in this, who is, I think, has among the most flawless records and of all of our kind of legends walking around still.
That movie started more fights around the dinner table than Trump, okay? More than Green Book. This was a litmus test. Do you remember when, I did not bring this up, obviously, when we made Uncoupled, the show starring Neil Patrick Harris that I worked on.
Yeah.
I remember when he, wrote a very angry series of tweets about Wesley Morris calling 3 Billboards racist.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
People were angry that people didn't like this movie.
And also, by the way, I mean, we could have just contained our outrage to Abby Cornish playing American. That could have been a whole year of anger for me right there. Let alone Sam Rockwell, punching some guy out a window, and it's it was anyway. There's a lot going on in that movie. I wanted to say also about the Tony nominations. So thrilled to see Rachel Dratch get a nomination for this show called POTUS. Rachel Dratch is one of these people where Saturday Night Live is just built for certain people, as in it's the epitome of what they bring. And you're happy when those people get there. And then when they leave, it's like, well, we don't really have a track for you because Saturday Night Live is the track. So for her to get to play a broad, fun role. And by the way, her memoir is so good. It's called Girl Walks Into a Bar. It starts off harrowingly and ends up being a little bit funnier and more traditionally bossy pants-ish. But
so the reverse
so
Nanette.
good. Which, is my favorite Kama Sutra position.
POTUS is definitely on my list to see. Let's just run down what I've seen. MJ the Musical versus Strange Loop and Six. And like Paradise Square, Mr. Saturday Night, Girl from the North Country, like these are musicals that like everyone's sort of really talking about. So it's interesting. It doesn't seem like a year where like Hamilton's gonna win everything,
Correct. Yeah, it does. You're right. There's no like Dear Evan Hansen stick out sort of thing. That's nice.
I personally loved MJ the Musical, and I
that
get
written
the
by our friend
criticisms.
Katori Hall.
Yeah, I get that. I love when you call everyone who's been on Keep It our friend.
Well, they are friendly. they don't leave in disgust usually. At least they don't tell us. What if Judith Light's like, I fucking hated them?
She's walking around Manhattan like, let me tell you, I will destroy Keep It.
They would not shut up about that fucking Versace show. Yeah.
Heather Graham probably is, but that's a story for another day.
Right. We'll save that for the book.
Obviously, Six the Musical is great too, and I haven't seen the
Funny
other
songs.
musical nominations yet. Yeah, but Carolina Chain should definitely win Best Revival of Musical. I thought it was fucking amazing. I had weirdly never seen it before on stage, and so it was life-changing to finally see. One of Tony Kushner's other works besides Angels in America, and Company still just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
It's like the gender swap is just I like the idea of the gender swap, but I haven't liked the leads in either of the productions I've seen, the Broadway or the West End. Jonathan Bailey was of course amazing in the West End production, and Patti LuPone is there collecting a check.
I was wondering if she was gonna get her third Tony though, because I'm always concerned about award amounts. Like how at the Grammys everybody has way too many. The Oscars, it sort of feels like generally everybody kind of has the right amount. Like, and Tony's also feels that way to me. And Patty only having two, it's like that just feels like that should have been a problem that we solved in her 40s.
But I mean, really, this is just such an array of like people that I'm excited to see again. Like, I haven't seen How I Learned to Drive yet, but
Mary Louise Parker is absolutely in my 10 favorite actors. Absolutely,
she taught me how to hold iced coffee.
Oh right, no weeds, and also
the way that I continue to hold my iced coffee with like your hand around the lid, straw sticking between one of the between two of your fingers. Like, I held my iced coffee like that for years.
Oh, my God. I know I brought this up at the time. When she was in The Sound Inside, the last thing she won the Tony for, just amazing. And then it always pains me, like, these things aren't necessarily on tape, so it feels like you're retelling a story you heard once upon a time when you're talking about these productions. So anyway, if you can go see Mary Louise Parker live, my God, you should. What an awesome actor.
I haven't seen Music Man yet because they were supposed to be sending me free tickets to Music Man, and then they were like, well, you can pay $200 for tickets. And I was like, well, Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster can dance by themselves then.
Yeah, right. Sutton Foster, you can Sutton spin. Yeah.
So I don't know how Music Man is, and I'm not in desperate need to see this production that I'm going to spend that much money to see that show, specifically when the real hottest ticket in town is the show that I'm seeing this coming weekend, which is City Center Encore's production of Into the Woods with Heather Headley.
Oh, Heather Headley. I'm sorry, I'm just gushing about everybody. Okay, I may have told this when I was in New York a few years ago. I bought a ticket to see the Heather Headley Color Purple. All right, I'm excited to see it. Best Grammy, Best New Artist nominee, Heather Headley. I'm thrilled to go. And then a friend of mine's like, "What are you doing this Saturday?" I'm like, "Well, I'm seeing Heather Headley in the Color Purple." And he goes, "I have 4th row tickets to Hamilton if you want to go with me." And unfortunately, culturally, I had to say yes to that because it was the original cast of Hamilton. And so I just went to that. And then I sold my ticket or gave my ticket to a friend. And so now there's always this what if thing. Because it's not like Not like
Big
Hamilton is
mistake.
something I think about
Huge.
all the time. Whereas I feel like, yeah, if I saw Color Purple, I think that would have stuck with me.
Yeah.
Would you have done the same thing?
I saw Hamilton at the Public.
Okay, but like let's say you hadn't seen it, and a friend was like, "Okay, you can go and see Hamilton for free with me in the 4th row."
I would have gone, but then I also would have seen Color Purple later that week. But you were probably just visiting for a few days.
Correct. I couldn't go and see it again. Yeah,
I get it. That is a dilemma. Lin-Manuel
I know.
out here ruining lives.
That's what this is actually what the song "Dilemma" by Nelly and Kelly Rowland was originally about.
I feel like there's everything that we need to say about the Tonys. Other plays that I've seen who are on here, like The Skeleton Crew by Dominique Morisseau, starring Felicia Rashad, was actually like really fantastic. And so she's becoming like a playwright that I'm really interested in seeing her work more. So shout out to these nominations. They're full of like really interesting writers and actors, people who are like staples, like Sam Rockwell, who's nominated for everything. Anytime he steps on stage, I'm still not going to go see American Buffalo.
No, right. Well,
although actually,
it does seem to be the living worst. So,
well, actually, someone told me in a Instagram DM that in his divorce with his wife, that all money that the show American Buffalo makes actually goes to her. So if I can confirm that, then I will go see American Buffalo.
Oh, I wonder if this woman is Lindsay Krause, who is the mother of Zosia Mamet and is a Best Supporting Actress nominee from the movie Places in the Heart. I bet it's not, but anyway.
And also played an evil villain in season 4 of Buffy.
Oh, really? Well, there we go. See, this is how Keep It works. I bring up that half of the pop culture universe. He brings up that one. A nice primer on how we communicate.